everybody, welcome back to Shock and Schlock. I'm your host, Herschel Gillis, and today I'm looking like a reporter because I am currently on my lunch break. I don't look like an Amish, even though, I've changed this joke because I do respect my Amish listeners. Shout out to all the Amish. But today is going to be part 3 of my Brian Paulin director spotlight. Today I'm going to be reviewing Bone Sickness from 2004. Bone Sickness is about a man who is suffering from this incurable disease, and his wife and friend try to find a new solution that involves feeding him dead bodies, and things obviously don't go well, and it's a zombie movie, so what do you think happens? The dead walk and take revenge on the living, as it should be. This plot is pretty straightforward. Not really many twists and turns or anything here. The premise of the zombie outbreak being started from feeding somebody dead bodies, that was pretty interesting, but overall the film's is, fairly straightforward zombie splatter movie. But the thing that makes this one special is because it is a Brian Paulin film, of course. So, the gore... Come on, son. You already know. The gore looks awesome. The story's fast-paced. I like the music. The characters in this one, surprisingly, as well. The acting is better than I expected. In Brian Paulin's films and low-budget cinema in general, sometimes the acting can be shoddy, sometimes it's just passable. In this, it's pretty good. The characters are all believable. Character motivations and everything make sense. The way that it's shot is very professional. Of course, it's a Brian Paulin film. This one seems also a little bit larger in scale than the other ones as well. With, car stunts, car crashes, explosions, stuff like that. The gore is more widespread, you're getting, multiple scenes of people getting eviscerated in a shorter amount of time, I would say. The pacing is really good. Really like all those aspects, and the gore in this, of course, is disgusting and fantastic. The zombies look great. There really haven't been any zombies in a film. I know this isn't a new film, but in a long time that I had seen in a movie, even from the past and everything, that have looked this good. I would say the zombies even, they're up there with Lucio Fulci stuff, and Lucio Fulci. You can definitely sort of see the influence that he has on Brian Paulin, and very heavily in this film as well, with this strange, nightmarish atmosphere. I think Brian does that well in all of his movies, but in this one particularly, it's very nightmarish and dark and atmospheric, and it's very creepy. Despite being a gore movie, this film is genuinely pretty creepy at times, which is something that's rare for me to say about a zombie film as well. I don't, different things scare different people, so, sometimes how frightening a film is can just be subjective. But, yeah, I found this one creepy. The zombies all look, they don't look like people anymore. They look like these, rotting flesh mannequins. Rotting flesh mannequins, new name for a band. Someone take that. They certainly fit that description better, though. You can tell that these are monsters, and this, I'm a sucker for a good rubber suit monster movie, and Brian Paulin seems to always, take that sort of concept and turn it into something much larger in scale, better than that, while also keeping this fun spirit, and all this is dark, creepy, gory, and everything. It's also just a really fun time. Brian Paulin's films usually don't take themselves super seriously. Septic does quite a bit. And they take themselves seriously to a point, but Brian Paulin is making these films to entertain you. These are not supposed to be high art that you psychoanalyze the entire thing for weeks on end. This is just a fun splatter zombie flick. There's some truly memorable kills in this too, with skin removal and face removal and brains getting ripped out of heads and people's heads getting ripped in half. Someone gets blown up by a grenade. Car crashes. If you can think of it, it's here. This may in fact be the most violent zombie movie ever made, and I feel like saying that is going to get a lot of people to go watch this, which is great. If you like splatter movies, watch this. If you like zombie movies, watch this. If you like Brian Paulin and you somehow haven't seen this, definitely watch it. I believe it's out of print currently, but you can still find copies on eBay, and presumably, I'm sure this will get a re-release in the future eventually. I know Brian's been talking about a couple of his older movies getting released, or re-released again, and as Black Lava has released, Dead Girl on Film, Blood Pigs, and there's probably one on Fetus. All those are still in print. I feel like this is, going to be getting a new release soon. But until then, if you want to watch it, I got this copy for like $10 on eBay. Definitely pick it up, though, if you haven't seen it. It's probably my favorite zombie movie. I'm usually not a big fan of zombie films, but, Brian Paulin brings a fresh vision to the undead, and I really enjoy it. If you like Lucio Fulci, this is definitely up your alley as well. At this point, do I really need to say that the gore and everything is good for a Brian Paulin movie? I mean, that this comes with the territory. This is just another very solid entry in his filmography. So, coming up, going to be reviewing Morbid Tales from Brian, followed by Blood Pigs, and then I believe I will be doing At Dawn They Sleep next after that, followed by a interview with Brian on Thursday of this upcoming week. So keep an eye out for all that. Make sure to go support Brian. Go buy his films on eBay from him directly. Buy Bone Sickness, of course, and support the underground. And as always, I've been your host, Herschel Gillis, signing off for today. 0 thoughts, 0 editing, 0 brain cells, and 0 planning. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Keep your notifications on. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.